What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. It's been a minute. Haven't seen you guys in a while, but we're back. I went ahead and took a whole week off of work so I can just focus on the 240 build and some other projects, but mostly the 240 build. We're going to get that motor in this car, and I can't wait. Oh, here we go. And we're going to kind of go over this a little bit today, and we're going to go over the car. And if you can see the boat out there, and I got a little surprise underneath that tarp on the other side of the boat over by the camper. But let's get after it real quick. Let's first talk about the car. Let's talk about the car. So the work on the car, I think last time I had a video out, we were just talking about the motor and what was in here. As you can see, the motor is out. You can get a real good look at the cross member I made for this thing. Looks pretty good. Does the job. Might put a little bit more support in here just so I feel a little bit more comfortable with that. But yeah. Also, as you can see, we got floors in this thing now. They're not pretty by any means, but this is kind of the first rendering of this car. I want to get this thing running. I want to do some stuff with this car, and sometimes you got to cut some corners on a few things to get that happening. So that's what I did. Cut a few corners. Floors are in it. There's no holes, no flintstone in it anymore. As you can see, I do have different seats for this car now. These are the Kirkies out of my Trans Am. I went ahead and stole them out of the Trans Am just because of a rule that I have in my local track, that we have to have a support that runs from the back. As you can see the support on the back of this. It has to run to the roll bar if you run like a 4-point or a 5-point harness system in it. I'm not quite sure the whole rules on why, but that's what you have to have. And my other seats just didn't have that area to make that support, so I can make that. So I went ahead and just took the Kirkies out. It was easy. I had them. It was cheap. It cost me nothing. So that's why I did that. As you can see, the back, the whole trunk is different now. I went ahead and cut everything out along the frame rail of the car, and the frame rail runs right on here and over there. As you can see, I've got a fuel pump in there. We'll talk about that later. Went ahead and went with the 15-gallon sail from RCI. Does the job. I'll be running a Holly pump on the top side of this. It will just run down to the bottom, and the reason I'm running that is because down on the bottom would be more ideal for a pump, just pickup wise. A little less work on the old pump and fuel slosh and whatnot, but I just don't trust people anymore, and I'm afraid somebody's gonna come up and just, you know, get under here and turn a line and crack the line open, and I'm gonna have a big old fuel mess, and maybe they crack it open, running out of fuel. I don't know. I just don't trust people anymore. It sucks, but that's just the world we live in anymore. Another thing you can see, I got a battery box made for back here too, and looks really nice. Works, it does the job. This is going to put some more weight in the back of the car too, and this, eventually I need to make a cover for all this that'll go over everything, and then I'll be able to use this still as a trunk instead of it just being a fuel cell back there or something like that. I can still have a trunk back there, which is awesome. Another thing is, I got fenders on the car now. You can see this. Came across a pretty good deal on them. I went and picked them up. They had ZG flares on them and everything. So picked those up, went ahead and threw them on the cars. The ones I had were still good. These are already done, and it was a good deal. I got a couple hoods with it and everything, whatnot. So yeah, that saves me a little bit of time there. Now I just got to do the rears. I hate that I have to cut the quarters up to put them flares on, but that's what you got to do sometimes, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and talk about the motor. This is awesome, as you can see. I put a lot of work into this thing, mostly the manifold, but a lot of the other stuff been bought. But let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and just start with the front of the motor. You know, first things first, I have an ICT LS alternator mount on this thing. This is just your standard one you can get. It's like, I think it's like 75 bucks or something like that on Amazon. I went ahead and picked it up, and I mounted it right to where the idler pulley goes. Now you have to cut a little bit of this out and then drill it out and tap it a little bit, but this goes perfect. It works really well. I had to make a mount down here just to tie it in so I had more support. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to do the job, just because of belt wrap. There's not quite a whole lot on the alternator. There's not quite a whole lot on the old crank either. And to be honest, there's a little bit of play in it, but we're going to try it out like this. If I have to do anything, I'll probably just maybe add an idler somewhere, like either here or possibly here. That will probably suck up a lot of that tension and get more belt wrap on the alternator and maybe on the crank. But we'll see what we can do here. I'm just going to try this right now and see how it works. If it doesn't work, we'll modify it, make it work. I mean, it's going to get there. It's just, this is a kind of a first rendering to make this work. It's cheap. I had an LS alternator that's upgraded alternator, and the this mount is cheap. Buy a couple pulleys, and I mean, I think I have a whopping 100 bucks in it, maybe. That's cheap. But let's talk about the intake. This thing is a piece of work. I talked about this in a earlier video. I did have to modify it to fit in the car, and I did make it to where you can put a newer style LS throttle body on this thing, because I put an Icon 92mm throttle body on it. Is it a bit big for this motor? Possibly, but it looks dang good, so I went ahead and did that. Another thing, as you can see, this is a fuel rail, and I got this from Atlas Industries. And I bought a few parts from Atlas Industries. I bought a lot of stuff from Atlas Industries, actually. I just haven't really talked about it. I just wanted to wait to show you guys with it on the car. So this is one of the pieces that I have bought from them. Their fuel rail. Went ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and feed it from this end, and it'll come to this, to a return, to a boost reference fuel pressure regulator. As you can see right here, this is what I'll be running. It's a Magna Fuel boost reference. It'll just pop right there, mount to the firewall, and should do the job. Now, injectors, I will be running a set of Snake Eaters, 2150s if I'm correct. That's what I ordered, but that's what will be going on to this. I've run these in my Corvette. It made 650, a lot smaller injector, but I went with the 2150s just because I'd rather have too much fuel than not enough. When I say too much fuel, I mean I have the ability to turn it up if I want to, and I've gone in the past where I've gotten exactly what I needed, and I've just immediately run out of injector. Then I got to buy new injectors again, and I just didn't want to do that, so I just went with the biggest ones they had, because I will be running E85 on this car. So, and I'll be making somewhere around 600 or 650 horsepower with this thing, so that's what I went with, the big ones. Plus, I'm running aftermarket ECU with the stock ones. If you run like a way bigger injector, it's kind of hard to get it tuned right. But with an aftermarket ECU, a little bit easier. Let's go to this right here. I have the stock coils on this thing still, as you can see. And the reason I have these on here for now is just to get it running, period. These will work up to about 600, 650. But I would rather prefer have something a little bit better on there. So we will be upgrading these down the road. But we are just going to run these for now to get it running. Another thing, if you guys are noticing, this valve cover's been modified a little bit. A lot of guys will just modify this and put a cap on it and call it a day. But I decided to take the entire top off of this, the breather part of it, off. And the reason I did that is because it looks better to me having that all gone, and it's all kind of looks the same. It is raised up a little bit higher. I could have spent some more time on it getting it perfect, but kind of running short on time, so I went ahead and just threw this together as quick as I could. But I went with some Motion breather mounts up here. Now these have plates underneath of these things to allow it to breathe and not take all the oil too at the same time. So if I was to take, say, an AN, a -10 AN, weld it to the top of it with no way of keeping like the oil just flooding it, I would fill catch can up all the time. I've done this in the past, and it was like I would make a couple passes, and I would have this, and I had like a quart or two catch can. I'd fill that thing up pretty quickly. So you definitely want to do something like this. Motion Raceworks makes it. They're kind of expensive, but they're kind of nice. I mean, I don't know. They're not bad price, I guess, to me, but to other people, they're kind of pricey, maybe. But yeah, that's what I went with on that. Let's start with the turbo. Turbo is a Pulsar 7375 turbo, billet wheel, ball bearing. Got it used off a marketplace. I think the hot side of it's a little on the small side. I think it's like 0.8 something or whatever. It's a little small, but it might work really well. We're gonna check the back pressure on it, and if it's just too much back pressure, we'll just go up to a bigger size. You can buy just the hot sides from them, and it's pretty inexpensive for the most part. And this should make all the power I need. I know I've seen guys making 650-ish wheel horsepower with these 7375s. Not this particular turbo, but 7375. So should get pretty close to that same power. The manifold. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me about this thing. This is something I made. No, I'm not gonna make any more. I mean, I might make some more for myself, but I can't make them for people. I don't have time for it. Plus the material and everything, it's not worth it to me time-wise. I mean, I'm trying to get other projects done. I wish I could build them for people, but I don't have time. I'm sorry, but unfortunately, I don't have time for it. It sucks. So on the exhaust, I went straight up in the air, and that's it mainly because I couldn't get the exhaust out the back because I had to reduce it so much that I think it would just kill the power, and I didn't want to do that. So I went ahead and just went straight up out of the hood. It looks cool. It'll sound cool and be awesome. Yeah, it's gonna probably put a little bit of stuff on my windshield and kind of be obnoxious to some people, but it's my car, I don't care. So another thing I did do down here, another Atlas Industry deal. This is the oil pickup deal. I know it's meant to take oil and put it back here. I think it starves oil, if I remember right. I didn't get the whole I knew you needed it, but I didn't do a whole lot of research on it, and I'm sorry for that. I came ill prepared for this one. But this is to get oil back to the back cylinders, I believe, because it does starve it, from what I've heard. And this is something you can get from Atlas Industries. Pretty cool little deal. This will be also provide my turbo with oil pressure. So that will go up to there. And then as you can see down here, I have the 5-cylinder pan on here. This is just a stretched out deal. I went ahead and used all of the RTV you can because I don't want it to leak, and it'll probably still leak. But this is something I'm going to run for now. I got it with a deal when I bought that motor over there, and it's going to work. It's going to do the job, but I feel like I want something a little bit more low profile, so I might build one down the road and see how that comes out. All out of aluminum. I don't want a steel pan. I want an aluminum pan. So I mean, I know there's somebody out there that's making a steel one, but I prefer aluminum when it comes to my oil pans for cooling reasons. So that's going to call it for this one, guys. Sorry for the late updates and everything. I appreciate you guys watching the videos and all the subscribers. I've been getting a ton of you guys subscribing, and it's pretty awesome. But it's going to call it for this one, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start making that T56 Magnum over there fit up to this 4200, and I'll make that in another video and tell you how I did that one, and give you part numbers and whatnot. But yeah, it's going to call it for this one, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.